And our top story, there are concerns that Islamic militants are moving closer to Baghdad after insurgents moved into 2 more towns in the east of the country. Well, our Foreign Affairs editor Sam Kiley is at the big screen with more details.
Right, so let's take a closer look at exactly what we've got going on in Iraq and indeed in Syria. This shaded area is the area that is either controlled or contested by ISIS. Over the last 3 days, it's included a huge expansion of territory into Nineveh province with the collapse of the Iraqi army in Mosul. Now, as the Iraqi army collapsed, the ISIS forces shot south, taking, among other places, Tikrit, the birthplace of Saddam Hussein, and Baiji. They've managed to encircle. They haven't actually taken it yet, and the reason for that is that Baiji actually provides the power for Baghdad, and a very, very important strategic asset, as is Kirkuk. That is the center of the northern Iraqi oil industry. Now, in the last day or so, the Iraqi armed forces again collapsed from there, but they were replaced with Kurdish Peshmerga fighters from this yellow territory, the semi-autonomous Kurdish authority, which has secured Kirkuk. The interesting thing there will be, will they ever leave? Now, the Iraqi government has hit back with airstrikes in Mosul, which has been a high-risk activity. If you're dropping this kind of high explosive into a densely populated area, remember Mosul's the second largest town in Iraq, you do risk civilian casualties and therefore risk driving the local population into the hands of ISIS. Now, they have also been continuing to enjoy military success, the ISIS that is, with 2 new towns that they've captured in the last 24 hours. And they are getting closer and closer to Baghdad. What we can see evolving is a strategy to try to encircle the capital city. If we have a look at the charge towards Baghdad, what you can see here is including those 2 cities, and they're doing this charge, by the way, by capturing vehicles from the Iraqi army. Wherever they've gone, they've managed to capture not only vehicles, but even helicopters and, of course, huge amounts of weapons. They're clearly trying to encircle Baghdad, but at the end of the day, they're also creating a catastrophic humanitarian crisis, notably up again in the Kurdish areas, populations fleeing in particular towards Duhok and also to Erbil, reportedly up to 700,000 refugees on the move.
Thanks very much, Sam. Well, Olivier Guitta, is Director of Research at the Henry Jackson Society, which works across borders and party lines to combat extremism, and he joins us now. Olivier, I think it's fair to say that people outside of that region may not have heard of ISIS before this week. Just how dangerous are they?
ISIS is, as of now, the most dangerous terrorist group in the world. They've been breaking off of Al-Qaeda, and they're presenting themselves as a competitor to Al-Qaeda. Back in December, the leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi, sent a letter to Zawahiri saying that he was not going to be part of the Al-Qaeda group, and asked all the Al-Qaeda franchises in the world to join him because al-Zawahiri was out of touch.
So the feeling is that they may grow as an organisation as this continues, this march on Baghdad, as they're calling it.
Very much so, because within the world of jihadists, you always join up the strongest. And as of now, al-Baghdadi seems to have the upper hand and doing the right thing as far as getting some more territory. He said that he wanted to get, Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, and now, even in the past few days, he said that he was on his way to Iran.
What is it that, as an organisation, ISIS want? What do they want? What is their main aim?
Their first aim is to have a caliphate in that region, namely the Levant. So they want to get as much as possible an Islamic State first in that region. And then they will see. But they're very, very, very focused on getting first Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon.
And in terms of taking Iraq, they're obviously moving towards Baghdad. 2 more cities have come under their control within the last 24 hours. How well equipped are they? How well equipped are the Iraqi forces to deal with them? Because we hear that some Iraqi forces have just left the cities.
Exactly. They're well equipped, but on top of it, they got access, because they have control of Mosul, they got access to helicopters, to large...
They were abandoned by the Iraqi forces.
Exactly. And you hit the point it right on the nail, is that basically the problem is not equipment, is manpower. If the soldier within the Iraqi army desert and they go home, then ISIS has a free hand and can take control of the country.
And as they move towards Baghdad, whether they take that or not remains to be seen. What will be the repercussions of them gaining more control in that area?
It would be huge, because in the past, whenever a terrorist group was in control of a territory within a country, we've seen that they were able to expand and attack other targets around the world.
OK, Olivier Guitta, thank you very much for talking to us here on Sky News. Interesting to get your thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you.